You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring out people onto the stage. Young, fabulous people who are also Winchesters. We're warming you up with greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest of Sunday, of the big day, of the high holy day, of the Sabbath. Put your hands together for Mr. Jake Abel. That was one of the most majestic bottoms placing in chairs things I've ever seen. Can we get a replay? Give me a little chair music, boys. Some little. Again, you gotta go chair music. You got a little profile of this. Here comes Jake able to sit in slow motion like only he can. That's how you sit down on a Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Abel.
Thank you. Outstanding. Beautiful, fantastic. Get off my stage! All right. It is very bright, but I can't see any of you, but thank you for being here. Never done one in America. It's been a long time since I've been on the show. Like, I forgot how long it was until recently. I know. And bring back Abel. Okay, here's the cue. Great, I was looking for you guys. So I was worried. You get worried in the meet and greets. I was worried nobody would be in there. Like, literally, I was backstage just thinking, like, it might just be me. It might just be me. And I had some beautiful, amazing people who were with me, so we were there. Thank you very much. And then now all of you guys. This is fantastic. I mean, literally, I expected to come in. Sometimes it happens that, like, you have a Q&A, and, like, the boys have something amazing scheduled, and, like, you come on stage and everyone's leaving. I see Darren Jensen. I'm not allowed, because I would have. So you're beautiful. Thank you for staying. I don't know what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do. I did not know I was going to ass drop in front of you guys. You didn't get it on camera the second time. You're not getting it at all. So yeah, I hope you have a good time. Let's see where we go. Should we start with questions?
Hi again.
Hi again.
I'm a little flustered after the whole chair thing.
Me too.
You touched on something in the meet and greet, and you said something about you doing music. Do you sing, guitar, drums? I mean, if so, if you do sing, can you give us a little sample?
I gave you a little bit of dead or alive there. That was unplanned. I make music. I make a lot of music, especially in the past year. I've had a bit of downtime, so I just literally stayed at home in a cage and recorded music. Which is fantastic. A lot of fun. I released like an EP years ago under the pseudonym The Mumblers. It was a five song album that was inspired by some time I spent in Louisiana. And am I a singer? Like, no, not really. But like, I sing, for better or for worse. Not scatting mostly. My next album's gonna be a scat album. I've always known that they've done like concerts and stuff for conventions, and I've never got to do it. And now, like seeing these guys play, they're amazing. And now I'm sure. mics were really live when we were singing. And like, I don't have the heart to break it to her that it's probably not. But if I'm wrong and it is my voice, then damn, I'm like really good. But I don't know, it's a mystery.
Hi. Okay. In honor of the J3-op, which we were cruelly denied, because who would be
What happened?
who would be the 3 people to rescue you in these supernatural movies saving Adam?
Well, nobody, because nobody has. I feel like everyone's had an opportunity. Yeah, it's gonna be you guys jumping on the set, making it happen. I've heard some of these meet and greets. Everyone's come up with some like really great ideas to bring Adam back with like super crazy. And maybe that's it. Maybe he becomes so crazy in hell that he kicks his own way out and then just bitch slaps everybody. Believe it. Hello.
Alright, so real quick, despite how much I hated the Percy Jackson movies, I loved how you portrayed Luke. I wanted to know, like, how you kind of, like, the differences between working on a TV set versus a movie set.
Okay, what's interesting, actually, I never really thought about this, but I was preparing for Percy Jackson on one of the last Supernaturals. I was on set for Supernatural. I was in Vancouver, I was in my trailer. I was trying to quit smoking at the time, and so I was drawing a lot. And I drew a picture of Luke in the trailer for Supernatural, so it's just kind of weird that it's all kind of coming back together. The film sets and TV sets, which I believe was the question, right? TV sets are a lot faster, I find. Film sets, especially the Percy series, especially on like a big studio film, you spend a lot of time in your trailer because the setups are so big, it takes so much time. TV, like you really move it, and that's a really great thing. And then after that, it comes down to the family on set, within the crew. And I will say, not just because of that Supernatural connection, that the crew on Supernatural has been one of the best crews I've ever worked with, as far as like their friendship and their hard work. There's no better crews than Canadian crews. Like, probably shouldn't say that because after videotaping this, every grip in America is gonna be like, fuck that guy. I will amend it and say Canadian crews are just great, and specifically Supernatural's crew. But yeah, a lot of hurry up and wait on both sets. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
If Adam was never separated from the Winchesters and he grew up with them and was trained to be a hunter, how do you think that would have changed things?
That's a good question. I probably get as much love as Jared Jensen, which is like an intense love. I don't know. I think that's a really fun, like, alternate universe / fiction world. I think that could exist.
Not Slash. Oh, don't say Slash.
Bigger laugh. Just regular fan fiction. Regular fan fiction. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I think Adam, maybe he could have been a formidable part of the group, or they just would have killed it too at some point. Love so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I wanted to ask if you could have only one board game to play with Michael and Lucifer in the cage, what would it be?
I wish I had like some cool, like funny, like Nick Spader answer off the top of my head, But I'd probably bring bananagrams. I'm super into bananagrams right now. Like, I don't know if anyone's played bananagrams. That game's amazing. Like, it's just a word game. It's like free-form Scrabble, and it comes in a little banana case, which is fun. So I think I would play word games with that in hell. Thank you.
Hi, I've actually had a question on you since, like, Go Figure.
Oh.
I love that movie. But I wanted to know, for
like the host and for Percy Jackson, did you read the books before, or how did you prepare for those roles?
To this day, I haven't read Percy Jackson. For better or for worse. I did read The Host, even though it is the largest book in history ever written. Thank you, Stephanie Meyer. But it is, what was great about The Host was that there was so much detail in the writing. And it's hard because I've done a few adaptations of books, and oftentimes I try to let the script be the Bible, as they say, because, you know, like, I don't know your name, we had mentioned the Percy Jackson movies, not liking them perhaps as much as the book. It's hard. It's so hard to adapt a novel because it is so rich, there's so much life, and to condense that down into under 2 hours of film, it's incredibly difficult. So I think that it's important to capture the essence of the story, and it's hard if you're just an actor to try to fight for deeper story. I do oftentimes, I fight for my character. If I know there's something in the book that's really important, like Luke and Percy Jackson has a big scar on his face from a fight that he had. And I really pushed for that, so I thought that psychologically that meant something to him. You know, as well as his daddy issues, this physical scar had something, but they were like, we're not going to put a scar on you for the entire movie. So they don't get it. I don't know how I ended up there. But I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
What was it like working on the set of The Host?
The Host is one of my, I don't know if anyone has seen The Host. Stephanie Meyer wrote the Twilight series. She wrote another novel called The Host and about aliens. And there are certain projects that you have an intuition that are going to be really special to you. And anything, a job or an encounter with a friend. And that was one of them for me. I don't know why. I had worked with Saoirse Ronan before, previously on a film called Lovely Bones, so it was. I knew that was there. I just had this feeling. Andrew Nichol, who directed it, he and I tried to do a film together previously called In Time that didn't work out. So we knew we wanted to work together, and there was a scheduling conflict initially with the Percy movies, and when it worked out, I was so grateful for it. And I was right. My intuition was right, because to this day, Saoirse is a dear friend. Stephanie Meyer is a dear friend. A bunch of us are actually going to see Saoirse on Broadway next month. So those relationships, they stuck in a way that they don't always do. You know, you don't always get that kind of friendship after a project. I had the feeling that it was going to be that, and I have rarely had more fun on set than on the set of The Host.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi. If you were any angel in Supernatural, who would you be?
Any angel?
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably a bunch of angels that I don't know about. Who?
Free.
Free? A free one, yes. I thought Archangel Michael was pretty cool. I'm just sad I had so little time with him. Because he's the Archangel, like that. It's in his name. There's no greater angel above him, technically. His power is, far surpasses anyone else's. And that's what I mean. Like, I want to bust out of the cage as Michael, hell-bent on vigilante.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. So when Adam gets out of the cage, or Michael, or whoever, who is he going after first, Sam, do you have this first?
I don't know. Maybe Misha for so hardly throwing that Molotov cocktail at my nipple. So yeah, I think maybe Em called him ass fuck. Just to catch him on fire, see how he likes it.
Hey.
Hi.
So, I didn't particularly like the Percy Jackson movies, but I think you guys actually role there. And besides daddy issues, what do you think Adam and Luke have in common?
Daddy issues.
I've never thought about that, actually. Daddy issues, for one. Yeah, about that. I don't know. The problem is, I feel like, much like I said, He was the ghoul in the first episode, and I know he came back as Abel the second time. But like, as an actor, the more time you spend with a character, the more you get to know about them. And it's just sort of like an instance of like, I was still figuring him out before he was taken over by somebody else, and somebody else. But I just think they're probably both two like injured birds that need brought back to life. Thank you.
Hi, big time fan, again, also big fan since Go Figure. I had a thought. You played Adam 1.0, who was, the ghoul, Adam 2.0, and Michael. How hard was it for you to basically play these three different characters in less than a season?
That was my favorite part about it. Was that surprise? Was I had no idea going into it. So instead of being like incredibly difficult, I found it like really freeing and a lot of fun because to get to play one physical person in a world and like an established world of Supernatural and play them as three different people. It doesn't happen. Someone told me that I was the first person to play three different characters on Supernatural. I don't know if that's true. Apparently it is. And that's great, like what an honor. And then also to be a Winchester was a huge honor. But it was more fun. I felt free and I felt like they trusted me to find it. I don't know. But yeah, it was more fun than difficult. What was scarier was coming on the show as a Winchester and like, feeling the wrath of fans that they didn't like it.
Well, thank you, and if it matters, I've got it for myself.
Thank you, I do appreciate it. Hey, we're over here.
Hi. So, in a recent episode, Lucifer tells us that Michael has been spending time rocking and singing Broadway tunes in the corner. I was wondering what Adam would be singing.
Well, now all I have is Dead or Alive in my head. And earlier today it was an Alicia Keys song, so probably not one of those. Maybe an Eagles song. Maybe like, because like Highway to Hell, that's too easy. But like maybe like Desperado, Heartbreak Tonight. I don't know, something in the Eagles like rock and roll, or like, Once in California, what's the, well, I'm standing on the corner of Winslow, Arizona. Take it easy. Yeah,
Thank you.
take it easy.
So my question is, do you have any funny memories with the boys from Supernatural you know what I mean?
I know. I do, yeah. But, it's funny. I'm really happy to some meet and greets before this because it like kicked up a bunch of memories that I didn't know were in there. And years ago, apparently it was VegasCon '09. I was like fresh out the show and had all this material, right? And at the time, I don't know if the legend still exists, but at the time, Farticus existed. Anyone remembers Farticus? Jared. He's a notorious flatulent man. And look at this. He eats like raw hunks of meat all day, I'm sure. So when you let loose, you really know it. And in that first episode, we're at the diner and we're sitting in a booth. And I believe at the time, like I was sitting inside the booth and he was here. And he just goes, I am Farticus! And it was the foulest thing you've ever smelled. I can't go anywhere. Trapped next to this giant man who just farted at me. And I think it was a rite of passage more than anything. So yeah, I think Farticus pretty much is to your memory. Thanks.
Okay, so you said it's been a while since you've been
on the show, but you really haven't forgot about you were Adam. So how do you feel about, someone who's so beloved by the fandom, but is completely, practically forgotten canonically?
It's heartbreaking because I love making the show, I think just as much as you guys enjoy watching it. I mean, it's on the screen how much fun is being had. And I'm open to it. And if they were to bring Adam back, I hope it's like in a blaze of glory or something cool. Or I hope they just kill him right away. Like they named the episode Adam's Back and they kill him in the first scene. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna go one of two ways. and I hear that they just got a new season, so. There's only potential every year, maybe episode season 25. We'll come back and middle-aged and over it. And you know what, guys, it's over. I learned a lot. Taking it easy.
How long did you ask? Or fight for it to come back?
It's Phil Segretia is the director of the show. He's directed me 2 episodes, and whom I adore. I've considered it because he still emails me every once in a while because he works with the band that he reps. It's really fantastic, Petunia and the Vipers. And I have considered just emailing him and being like, okay. You obviously don't hate me, you're still emailing me, so should we do this? Maybe I will. And if I do, I'll let you all know.
How was your first day on the set of Supernatural?
It's funny, it's hard to remember. My first day may have been the Farticus day. It may have been at that diner. And I really don't remember, but it had to be good. It really had to be good. Just today, on the way here, I haven't seen the boys since we did a convention in Rome 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I was kind of thinking, maybe they don't remember me. Never know. It's been a while. They see a lot of people. And then Jensen came in and gave me a hug, and I was like, oh, Daddy's back. I haven't seen Jared yet. Jared looked at me in the room, and he was like, so, remains to be seen. What was your question?
How was your first day?
Oh, yeah, it was great.
We wouldn't have Supernatural without Vampire Slayer, and you were in Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. What was it like working with Anthony Stewart Head?
With who?
Anthony Head? Tony Head?
Who was that?
He was the centaur in the second movie. He took over Chris Brosnan.
Oh, right. Well, I think I didn't work with him at all. That's why, I don't think I had a scene with him, and that's unfortunate. In those movies, you often think you're all in the same movie together, you probably all hang out, and it's so unfortunate oftentimes that it's not the case because then I don't get the opportunity to get to know or meet someone like that. And Nathan Fillion played my father. He played Hermes. And I was so excited to meet Nathan Fillion. I was like, this is great. Never met him. I've never met him. Played my father in a movie, never met him. So it's unfortunate, but if I do meet him, I'll keep in mind, and next time I see you, I'll let you know.
That's just adding to the long list of daddy issues you have.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to see you at an convention.
Thank you, it's nice to be here.
My question was, it might be a little difficult to remember, but there was a specific scene that made it to the gag reel where you were lying in a coffin, laying dead, and you guys were giggling and pointing at something. I was wondering what might have been going on in that scene.
Lord knows. I don't. That's not the one I thought you were going to say, actually. Because there's another scene in the gag reel of me sort of mounting Jared. Jensen does one of, which he's great at. He does one of these. And the focus puller, Rex focused to his face was brilliant. That I remember. I don't remember that we were pointing at.
It was, oh, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Like, it was down. And
Yeah, I know, yeah, because it was when we discovered the ghoul had eaten my body and I was in this false bottom casket.
Yeah.
Which is a trip, right? That thing closed on you. And then looking down and your body's, skin, no skin, just bones. But no, I honestly have no recollection of what we were pointing at. Make something up in your head. Something nasty, dirty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I consider Stanley Tucci one of the finest actors we have in this country.
Me too.
Generation. I was wondering if when you were making the Lovely Bones, if you had any time to spend with him, or he gave you any advice as a young up-and-coming actor?
I'm not sure that a young up-and-coming person. That was another one of those instances where in the same movie, never were in a scene together. The only time I spent with Stanley Tucci was in the back seat of an SUV trying to get him to the train to go home, and he was going to be late. And Stanley Tucci, under pressure, still very cool, but like, pretty much like jumped out of the damn car. Like as we were getting closer, he was just ready to go. So no, he didn't give me anything. I just remember like cursing under his breath. But no, that was another person I wish I got to spend more time with because I agree. I think he's a marvelous actor. He's a really, really nice guy. Pretty nice actor.
Hi. So first of all, I just have to say, there was a little hate on Percy Jackson movies. I think they were just fine.
I think they were a movie. It was a movie.
And so, follow up on that, what's the hardest part about being an actor in today's, whole film industry?
The thing about the film industry is when it's going good, it's great. Like there's no better job in the world when it's going good. When it's not going good, it's horrible. And you have to have a lot of hobbies, a lot of confidence, a lot of good people around you. Because there's down periods. There's down period of time. You have to prepare for that. The last film I did was an independent film last year called Holding Patterns. Got a really great little cast. It was the only film I did that year. And that's fine because I'm picky and I really love film. I want to make film as much as possible and great TV. For me, it's story-based. And that might be the hardest thing is finding great stories. Stories told well. And then if you find a story told well, trying to get that part, it's a whole other animal. Because it oftentimes has very little to do with what, if you're auditioning, what you give in the room. It could be like, he's too tall, he's too blonde, he's not this, he's not that. So there's so many factors, and it's hard to not let that weigh over you. And mostly it's having patience. Patience. If you want something specific and it's worth it for you, just be patient. I think that kind of goes for anything you want to do. Like if you really want something, no matter what people tell you, like maybe you should do this. If you really don't believe in that, stick to your guns. Trust yourself. Bet on yourself. Because eventually, if you bang your head against the wall long enough, it probably will crack. Or you'll die. You won't have to do it anymore. You'll be so relieved. But yeah, I think just like persistence and trust and hard work. Thank you. Thanks. It was good for me. I felt like it was therapeutic. Hi.
I'm asking a question for a friend because she's kind of shy. You were referenced in the 200th episode at the very end, and they're like, "Oh, that's Adam, their brother, and he's still in the kid Lucifer."
Played by a girl, right?
Yeah, this is an all-girl school. And the boys look at each other going, "Oh shit, we did forget about him," but nothing came from that. Knowing that scene has happened, what would you like to happen now?
Well, I think I touched upon it earlier when I said that just get him out. You know what? Just get him out. He could be a hitchhiker on the side of the road. Maybe that's an option. That the boys drive by and they're like, "You see that guy? I lost my details. Sammy!"
There you go.
So maybe it's the hitchhiker. And they zoom on by. See, I'm telling you, this is like the brain trust. I'm coming up with really great material here. And I pitch it all to Phil. He's gonna love it. Hi.
Were you surprised that you got the part of Adam?
I'm kind of surprised I get any parts sometimes. I'm gonna call you like, really? Yeah. I was in a way, so Ulrich Spitzer Dawson, who cast the show, I've read for them for years, and I knew when he brought me in that like he was really interested in me playing the role. But oftentimes that doesn't matter. So when I got it, I was surprised, and I think I was more surprised after the fact because I didn't know just how important the role was going to be and what it would bring me, the places it would bring me, the people it would put me in front of. So the surprise came more after the fact of realizing, because I really didn't even watch the show prior to playing Adam because I didn't think I was the demographic. I didn't think it was made for me. And then once I booked the role of Adam, a friend of mine was a diehard fan. She was like, "Finally, you're gonna watch Supernatural with me." And I was like, "This show is great. This show's made for everybody. It's funny." And then I just got excited after that to be a part of it. So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. If and when Adam/Michael comes out of hell, would you rather come back to Adam or visit Michael or have some sort of like timeshare Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Great idea. Time sharing. I'm like, part of me just feels like, why not just keep going with the pattern and have him be someone completely else? I don't know who, but like, I like the idea of him never being one person in two different episodes. Like, I think that sort of keeps the myth alive and keeps me like. Has anyone ever been four people in the show?
Sam.
All right, why don't you catch up to him? Maybe three different people in one episode. Really set the bar high. Yeah, anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
What role do you think prepared you most for the role of Adam?
My own life, when I was eaten by a ghoul as a child. In fact, today I'm just a ghoul standing. I don't know. I think to sound corny, I think every previous job informs the next one because you learn from your mistakes. You don't learn anything from your successes. But you learn from your mistakes and you try to make them again. And so I think just kind of everything I've done leading up to that prepared me for where I was at that time. And I think that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I really loved you in the Percy Jackson movies.
Thank you.
Do you remember any really funny moments on set?
I'm sure there were. I know in my head, I know I should prepare like these really funny moments, or like when something crazy someone's done, besides fart kids. I'm trying, there was the time, there was the time where, so the film stars Logan Lerman, whom I call Logie Bear, and he's just the most adorable little Logie Bear you've ever seen. And our final fight scene, when we're flying through the city and the lightning bolt and all that, there's a very quick stunt in there where we did a lot of harness work. So we were flying lots, we had harnesses on, and they put what are called picks on you at different points. That's how they raise you and lower you on your side. And for this particular segment, as we're flying through a building, for whatever reason, I'm attached to Logan's butt. Like, I'm Big Spoon, he's Little Spoon. And we're hooked together. And there's nowhere to go. And we're just like hanging there between takes. Just a little Logan here like a little kangaroo. just waiting for the next day, like, all right, man? So that was a bonding moment for Lovely. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering, how's Hell doing?
It's warm, it's good music. Ready to get out. Ready for my timeshare.
Hello. I was wondering what's up for you next. What are you working on at the moment?
Patience. It's been pilot season right now, so I mean, I must have gotten out on 40 different TV shows, which, I mean, I don't know if there's any actors in the room or aspiring actors in the room, but that is some kind of hell. Casting's a hard process, and you know, when you're playing, you're starting to play someone new every day, like, you forget who you are and who you're playing that day. So now that that's kind of passed, I'm like sort of like taking a breath from that, which was good. Just kind of like I said earlier, like being patient, waiting for really good stories to come my way, regardless if that's film or TV, because it is rare. So yeah, which is great, which is why I get to be here. Oftentimes I'm not able to come because of scheduling. So screw it. It's good to be here.
Good luck. So I was wondering if when Adam went to hell, do you think that all the demons were kind of like, oh hey, another Winchester?
Yeah, I mean, hey, he went down there as Michael, so I think if it was like a prison scenario, I think Michael went down there and was like, you know, this is my hell. And made the demons sort of work. There's another thing, right? You got all the demons on his side. It's pretty sacrilege, but like, you know, Michael comes up with an army of demons.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna add it to the email.
So I moved to LA a couple years ago. I'm trying to build a writing career, and I just wanted to know what, if you look at a script as an actor, what gets you really excited about a role?
I mean, story for me. Tell me a good story, and tell me a good story well. That is the hardest thing to do, I think. I think writers have the hardest job in the world. My wife's a writer. Like, you get no credit, but you put in all the blood. You know what I mean? And without you, we don't have a story to tell. So, yeah. And as far as characters go, I personally love characters that have major arcs, as any good character should in a story, right? A major arc. You start as one thing, and by the end you're another. Or if you're unchanged, then it has to be for a good reason. And that's why I've loved roles like Adam. And you know, even in the Percy films, like, if you don't enjoy the films, if you look at Luke's arc, I mean, he's traveled, there's so much travel, and at least I try to infuse it with that as much as possible, because it is the actor's job to really fight for that. But yeah, just those two things, because story and character are so one and the same. And clean writing, you know, like use as little words as possible, but if they punch through. It's hard, man. I write as well, man, so I feel you, but best of luck. Honestly, I hope to, maybe I'll be saying your words someday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you have any advice for someone going to film school? Any advice about the industry and what I'm getting myself into?
Yeah, plenty. Regardless if it's right or true or not, I don't know. You're gonna be trust your gut. Tell the stories that you want to tell, that you love, that you believe in, and again, learn to tell them well. You know what I mean? Don't try to. If you see someone doing something that's successful, don't try to do that if that's not you. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? And work your ass off. Don't stop just because it's not going well at first. And if it does go well at first, don't trust that either. Keep working.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
How was it? We started with a sexy sit down, and it just gets better from there. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Abel.